Hello, greetings. Thank you for joining us for tonight's communication. Still okay, we're connected to everybody once again. What am I doing? Okay. Alright, for tonight, we're going into a new transition, what it feels, at least for messages and direction. Mostly messages, basically. Nothing that really is going to dramatically change, no. Basically, I'm doing these channeled writings, and it's been quite... it's been very strange. In a good way. And if you go to... well, I can go into right now... I'm going to do something about this site eventually, but you have at the top of here your channel text. You have the awakening, and here it is right there. And actually, I can. There's two stories here. I'm going to redo this, like make it a little bit. Well, this isn't too hard, but when I start adding stuff, it's going to get kind of long. So I'll figure out a better way. But basically, it's here. It's getting kind of crowded up here too. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, but. I'll go into details of what I just connected to and the reason why we have the title of today. So the reason for that, it came through the channel text, and it's not here. It hasn't been published yet, but I'll go into it. It's not going to be in it actually, but I'll go into it. This is ivantor.com. We have private sessions open throughout the week. We have Google Hangouts, Zoom, channeling by phone and by Skype. Also have questions. I think I'm at Wednesday now. I haven't answered Wednesday stuff or Tuesdays. Either way, I'll be catching up. We're doing a little bit better on catching up. Sort of. Got Spirit Social. It's been a question. Channel consulting, healing. I can't see what I'm doing. Healing. Past life regression. Message from Yeshua. Hey, well, either way, you know, the scroll thing is. I need to get a new scroll, anyways. I don't know why they make life so difficult here. Anyway, I also have well, I have the other channelers here, healers. Also, you can check them out. I highly recommend them. I'm trying to do quick on this. Also have Patreon. We have Jake. And I do have some uploads to do, but I forgot to upload it. So, and if you want to support the channel, also this is one way. I also have donations if you're wishing to do that. This is also the social network. I have another social network I was looking at. Also, but I'm not going to go into that tonight. I kind of got it set up. This is interesting about the pyramids. It's pretty fascinating. And also we have. Oh man, oh well, this is a crystal ball frappuccino at Starbucks that I can't show. Jeez. And I had it today, and it wasn't too bad. It was kind of pineapple-y. Oh, I forgot what it was. It wasn't pineapple. I forgot what it was, but peachy. I think it was peach. A little bit of that at first, but it wasn't too bad. It's nice and fattening, but I put it on Facebook because yeah, it's a crystal ball effect. You can't sew anything. So, well, maybe the other network will work better as for image. I don't think I posted it there though. A few more reasons why everyone must truly trust blindly and obey Mike Zuckerberg. Yeah. Well, Zuckerberg is it's a dark ball energy around Facebook for sure. And I still see him as a robot. If anybody was wondering, he does talk like a robot. He has been in Zeta. He's been all kinds. But he's definitely, if you want to see a humanoid robot, there you go. I mean, he is human. It's just he's connected to a lot of AI energies. Just to give you an idea what that looks like. So, and it also goes into today's topic. So I was going to put a different name at the title of this, but I decided not to. And just feels cheap if I did that. So as for negative reptilian, basically in rehab, well, to go, I actually did a video today at the park, but that won't be uploaded until tomorrow, because I forgot about it. And it's kind of big, so it's like 5 minutes. I was gonna upload that before this, but by the time I upload it, it's not gonna happen. We're gonna go into Thoth also. Actually, I've been asked about to go into this a little bit more about negative entities, go into a little bit more details of it. But to give you a little bit more insight to the title of this, which I have not gone into yet, basically I got it while I was doing a channel text. Oh yeah, real quick. I connected to Archangel Michael. Now this is in the text that's coming up about Archangel Michael being a positive archon. And that's going to be the name of the next one I'm going to be uploading. I ain't going into too much detail. I'm not sure if I'm going to go into too much at this point, but it's a positive archon. I mean, I couldn't believe what it came through. It's like, I never really thought about it that way. And which makes a lot of sense, because archons have they cause a lot of difficulties for reptilians and all beings here. And archons do have wings also. But when I connect to a positive archon, I see wings. Archangel Michael has wings. Well, he can. And so that's the message I got. So he's a powerful healer. He's lost his soul in many incarnations, worlds like this. I mean, everyone's been through hell, basically. And so you go through a hell planet like this, go through a lot of suffering, like Yeshua, similar to that. Not exactly. You don't have to go through that, but you can end up on the Dr. Phil show instead. That's another way of going into an archangel vibration, if you wish. I'm changing colors again. I guess this thing's not working again. Oh well, I'm just gonna have to live with it. I can't keep checking it all the time. Well, it seems to be okay right at the moment. So, what is it? It's that white balance, but I turned that off, and I guess it's still. Oh well, probably there's somebody here too, most likely. But to go into the title of this. Kind of diverting from that. I was going to put his name at the title of it, but I figured it's kind of cheap. I just didn't feel like doing it. It's like, I've done it in the past, but I was like, I want to stay away from that. But there's a radio host online, conspiracy theorist. I brought him up many occasions. And I wasn't looking for this either. I was doing a channel text. I was not looking for this. It just sort of came in by itself. And it's basically I don't like doing stuff like this, but well. Alex Jones, conspiracy theorist on YouTube, was at one time a negative reptilian being. No surprise there, right? And it does seem like he did a contract here to do good. It's not all bad. He's not entirely a sellout. I don't think he's as bad. I mean, yeah, he has his moments because it's a negative reptilian agenda, but I believe he's in rehab. He's clearing that. So yes, he uses some things that are kind of tactics that are not exactly wonderful, but are great or whatever, but still very aggressive like a reptilian, right? And that's another thing. He doesn't believe in any of this stuff. Well, that's probably because it's part of him that doesn't want to connect with it. He doesn't know, obviously. Oh, his higher self does, but he doesn't. Now, if you look at the traits of the fearmonger, he's very much connected to. So it's like it's a yin and a yang. You can say there's a positive side of it. It's like we need somebody that's very tough that's going to put themselves out there. How about you do this? So he signed up for it to redeem himself, I believe. And there's nothing that's not new actually, but a lot. Basically what I got is like he did a contract. He was not exactly a nice being at all. No, he's even ever. I listened to him in the past. He wasn't very nice in high school. He'd beat kids up for no reason, pound them to the ground. It's very reptilian of him, and is very aggressive, very fearmonger. He's terrified too. It has a lot to do with it also. But I believe he's going to more of a positive direction. I know it's difficult to see that, but is he under the cabal influence? And not really. I mean, there might be some of that here and there, but I do see that he's connecting more to the truth than the mainstream. Obviously, the mainstream agenda will eventually collapse. Eventually, but I believe that Alex is actually on the right direction, even if he's kind of not going about it the best way, but he's doing the best he can think of. But either way, it's like a train going through you know, hornet's nest basically, or whatever you want to call it. It's called the cabal. So he is shutting down a lot of their mind control energies. So I don't see him as a double agent or anything like that. I wasn't too sure what it was at first. When I got hit by that, I had to go take a walk. When I got hit with this, about him being negative, I was like, okay, I need to process this. So it took like an hour. I mean, I shut my whole day down almost. It was like, yeah, it made a lot of sense. Like, I never really understood the whole. I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't like sitting there, I was like, okay, I'm going to channel Alex Jones in her. Nothing like that. I connected to Archangel Michael, I got this information, and then all of a sudden the Jones thing came in. It's like, what the fuck? So it made a lot of sense. But I also got, what I got also, I changed the title of this actually. What I got also to add to it has a lot to do with, why I'm getting this has a lot to do with disclosure of alien disclosure, meaning it's going to find its way into the alternative media eventually. When? Oh, who knows? But I'm not sure how that's going to work. But it's going to, because basically what I see with Jones, he's going in the right direction. Even if it is kind of questionable, but either way, it's fine. I guess I'm getting a visitation here, because I know I turned this off. And if I bring that back up, either way, let me blink, change colors. That's a pain, but anyways, it's very distracting. And I think that's distracting for a reason, actually, come to think of it. That much makes sense why I keep changing colors. That makes sense. Yeah, trying to get my mind off a topic. That makes sense. So yeah, I think we're going. So as for Jones, yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think he's totally negative. I mean, he has his moments, obviously, aggressive moments, but I believe he's going to more of a positive direction. Yeah, it's questionable. Either way, when I see the mainstream media, I see it falling apart slowly. And it's almost like puppets there. They're not really, they're kind of like hollow puppets. They don't really mean anything. It's almost like pins at a bowling rink. Basically, you throw the ball and they just bounce right off. And basically they do. Right now they're controlled by their paychecks. The only reason I believe in any of this. Of course, it's all part of the Anunnaki plan, etc., etc. But as for alien disclosure, eventually it will go into more of the alternative media, because it is not perfect, obviously, because of the fear-mongering along with it, but it is still more of the lines of the truth. Now, is it all truth? It's getting as much truth as it can. Now, there are areas within Jones I know definitely you can't go to certain spots. Pizzagate's one of them. There's others also, it seems. You gotta be careful of that. As I think his sponsors got hit recently, and that's kind of showing their teeth that they can do. But for the most part, I believe it's protected, and so I'm not sure if he's ever going to see this. I didn't want to put his name in the top. It's too weird. I don't like that idea. I'm not going to do it to get views or anything like that. I'm not interested in that. But I wanted to at least put this out there. Now, like Dr. Phil is connected to Arcturians, so I figured I'd bring this out there because I'm getting this. Now, that's pretty obvious what he's connected to, and probably people have already seen it here and there, but I got like a real, like a hit on it. I mean, a positive hit, but information, a download, basically. Basically, we're going in the right direction. Even if it's not perfect, but more disclosures like this are going to occur. Little by little, cloning might come through, and I give it a lot of it. They gotta be careful what they bring into us when we're ready. But more of this alien knowledge is going to become more concrete eventually, and they can't ignore us anymore or become part of the culture. I always mention that here and there in the past. It will eventually. As for how that's going to happen, it's still unknown. But either way, yes, we're going to more of a peaceful timeline, but also turbulent in some regard, meaning that humans facing all this is going to be kind of, yeah, digesting all of this is not easy. Yeah, they can deny all they want. Being a slave is much easier than knowing the truth. That is for sure. It's easier just to go with the masses, isn't it? When you start connecting all this, like, we're just all insane, basically. Not really. You think you're here all by yourself, think again. So, More alien disclosure will come over time, of course. But it's going to become more hardcore from what it feels like. As for how, I have no idea. I kind of have an idea of it, but just more in our face and to some degree. As for seeing these beings, maybe not. It's us coming more forward with our stuff of what we know and just becoming more of a light being over time. But as for the whole details, they're not giving me a whole lot at this time. Yeah, you know, when they give dates and stuff like for the events and other things, like, I'm not sure what's all that. I'm not sure what all that's about, but, well, I mean, you have to get people together, but I don't agree with any of that. I mean, they've been talking about the end of the world forever, and that's been going really well, so, but, you know, it's action speaks more than waiting for a date to occur and waiting for something to happen. And then just action on your own, but we're definitely going into more of a soft disclosure phase, little by little. As for what that all means, I guess we'll find out. Also, some people have been connected to been attacked. Now, this is unrelated to the Jones thing, but as for being attacked by archons, for that matter, where you can't get rid of these beings, is quite a it's basically a lot of people are in astral doing a lot of positive work, and so they're getting attacked by archons making it very difficult for, and they're basically attaching themselves where I probably have, I'm not always aware of what's going on, but you do get attachments, and that's called basically to reprogram you, to shut you down, to keep you from your path basically. But we are going to more alien disclosure. It's basically, yeah, archons can be sometimes seen as demons, basically. Of course, reptilians can be also. So, it depends on the archon, basically. And archons are connected to, like what you see in the Matrix, like the creature, like the thing that's Neo is, I said this in the video today, it's like the Neo when he wakes up, you pull that thing out of him, that's basically that's all archon type of energies. And basically they're trying, they're putting, yeah, they're doing everything they can to keep us shut down. It's not working though. But to heal it, you will get stronger over time. As for healing, and they still feel this stuff still attached to them. It might feel like kind of like a maggot energy, almost like a lower vibration energy. And yes, you can use shamanism to release it. It's not easy. It's like a possession, basically. As for how to get rid of it, you know, candlelight is good. Meditation's good. It depends on the being. Some I just want to. I mean, I've had attacks where at the psychic circle I was at. You know, the lead mentor, or whatever you want to call him. He felt there was a negative being there, and it was out to come after me. So yeah, it's nice to be on those nice little hit lists, basically. So how to heal that is prayer can only do so much. Basically, it's inner healing. But yeah, I don't have a much good answer for that. I mean, I do healings, but I'm not sure if I can really move something like that. It's very Sedona maybe, but then again, Sedona has that type of stuff happening all the time because I want to try to keep people closed off to what's going on. Let's see. Connecting to higher energies, connecting to God's energies. Basically, as we become more aware of what's going on, yeah, the dark is going to. You don't have to worry about a financial collapse. You worry about like a soul collapse as they start to come after you more. So this whole 3D stuff, World War III and all that nonsense, is yeah, it's going to be more like a psychic war, basically, in some regard. Not for everybody. It's already going on, actually. That's the only thing I'm seeing, if anything. Yeah, this whole nonsense. I mean, this whole financial reset and all that, you know, that's small potatoes compared to what we're going through and what is coming. But not to put fear out there, just to say that if there's anything that's going to occur, it's going to be that. Now, some are already going through it, and there's different versions of that. There's some that are just connected to negative beings. That's just the way it is. They haven't let go of that negative side of them, and they're not exactly the most pleasant people either, even if they say they are. Some are part of the negative agenda also, like the MIB, and they're going to get attacked because they're part of it. They haven't let it go. Now, I'm not sure if they can. I think they can. Some are not really ready to it. Basically, some are not found, let's see, full of self-love, basically. And so these entities attach themselves to them. Not to say it happens to everybody, but some, that is the case, some just get attacked constantly. That's different. For those that are just, they don't always know there's something around them either. Like, mostly it's a reptilian presence there, especially if you're connected to somebody that says they're positive and you see reptilian beings around them. Of course, people probably say that about me, but sometimes it's basically, you have to kick my ass. But some others are under the reptilian agenda. They have not fully let go of it, and they're not always aware of it. And it's a negative reptilian agenda. It does exist. It's like, why am I connecting to this person that's a friend, and I'm seeing a negative presence there, and they're having dreams of negative reptilians? It's like, that's a little bit, yeah, odd. And some of the stuff they say is kind of like, oh yeah, the disclosure won't happen, blah blah blah, and because they're kind of they're not ready for it, and they're being fed by negative reptilians too. So it's weird. It's very complicated. It's bizarre. And the third dimensional humans just laughing all this off and watching Netflix, which talks about all of this in a fictional zone because they're not ready for any of it. Yeah, so that's why it feels like it's going to be a lot of future generations. We're basically doing this for the future too. We're doing it for future generations, but also our generation. A lot of us like to have alien disclosure now. Would be nice, but we are having it individually. But as for worldwide, we're stepping towards it. It takes a while. I mean, it's not something you can do instantly, but I know I say that all the time because I do feel it's like people are like, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Shit, I don't know. Tomorrow, hopefully, or right now. It's not really easy to put a date on this stuff. That's why I don't understand why these messages are coming through to say, on this date, this is going to happen. It's like, what is that? I mean, sometimes they come in, the next couple months, but nothing's ever 100%. That's one thing, but on this day, I don't know what that nonsense is. Oh, well, it has its workings there, just whatever. So, well, that's right. Some guy just shot himself into the sky to prove that he's in California, to prove that the Earth is flat. I'm not sure what. Well, more power to him. Yeah, look it up. Guy shot flat Earth on the news. You should be able to find it. Yeah, more power to you. I don't know if he's expecting to get thrown off the planet altogether, but he spent a lot of time on it from what it seems like. So, alright, enough of that. Let's see here. Yeah, we're going to go into a new direction. As for messages, basically, might be other beings coming through. Possibly. Try not to wear myself out too much. But let's see. Yeah, we have Thoth. I picked up on that vibration to bring in. And I think there's another race very close by. So we're going to go to... Well, I can't go into detail. Well, we'll just see how it goes as for where all of this is heading, at least for messages here. It all has to do with alien disclosure and awareness of what's going on. It's basically, we're going to be called crazy. That's tough. But it's time for humanity to take, was it the red pill? Yeah. It's going to be basically all of this channeling other people's work, healings. That's all the red pill, basically. If you want to take it or not, it's up to you. The Matrix just keeps on. Well, it's simple. It's easy. People can identify to it, so we'll just use that. That's an Archon movie, but you know, it has its messages behind it, though. All right. So blessings will connect to positive beings to bring assistance to our ascension and to open the earth up little by little. So. Alright, much well blessings, and here we go. I am Thoth. Greetings to you. As you open your souls, yes, you will see Arcturian vibrations assisting your ascension. You will also, yes, feel the ancient, one moment, reptilian energies here being released from your DNA. As the ancient reptilians, yes, have held, yes, humans hostage mentally, physically. As those days are coming to an end, as you are rewriting your DNA little by little, there will be a time when there will not need of food consumption on your planet. It will happen. But as more of the Palladian assistants come into your world, you will find yourself a new Earth. As you are going to, yes, through new dimensions, but also you are becoming like doctors of yourselves. Becoming more knowledgeable of it. Your third eye, yes, will be activated. What happens right now is you realize also the feline connections you have on this earth. As yes, also the ancient texts of your past that have been lost. The only way for them to be brought back is through channelings, but also there is much of your Egyptian texts, as yes, you can connect to those vibrations and connect to a whole another timeline. As some of that information is false, not entirely, as much of it is done as a cover-up of what is truly going on in your world. As you know, not to say it's all false, but you realize much has been lost for good reason. As they don't want you to reconnect to your ancient Atlantean selves. The reptilians on your world do not want you to heal. They feel like, yes, you are imposters on this world, weak human beings that don't belong on this earth. But that is not true. You are powerful beings that are getting to know yourselves still, as you can see. And many are still going to discover their dark sides. And those that are not aware of this alien connection, some of it's fear. A lot of it has to do with just the human is just not willing to let go of the timeline that they are on. They have already connected to this in astral, the full knowledge, as you are connected to. Well, it's not the full knowledge, but you will understand. The disclosure knowledge, basically. You're on the disclosure timeline, and many are deciding not to, but that's not always the case. As the soul will connect to it and receive what they feel is right and then let it go, but still it still resonates with them, but they're still not ready to recognize their full selves. Some of you on your world are, yes, bird people. And some of you are easily awakened because you want to go back to the skies. And some are not. Some of your humans just don't want to remember their alien selves, as it's not always the most pleasant of experiences also. That's not all cases, but those exist. As I'd much rather just stay the human, play, yes, their video games or whatever it is that's brought to them, as to fully embrace the soul knowledge, they'd rather just take 5 from that. But yes, they're not willing to forgive the mistakes, and many souls here, yes, have negative reptilian manipulations and not willing to face, as many of them made some great mistakes in their past and not willing to forgive and move on. They would rather just live in non-forgiveness, as you can see. So that's part of those that are not willing to open up to this disclosure timeline. But for the rest of you, you are like medicine on this world. Mental medicines. All of you that are awakening. Not to say those are not awakened are not medicine. They have not taken the soul knowledge of their extraterrestrial self. Yes, the ET pill basically is one way of looking. The soul pill to basically reactivate your chakras, reactivate the crystal skull that's within yourselves. As some of you do have the crystal skull DNA within you, and you already know this, how easily you do activate. Some activate when they're reincarnated they instantly awaken. Not fully, but they do awaken because of the crystal skull vibrations. Yes, many of you are connected to ancient Egypt, the Mayans, and on and on. But the Egyptians do play a role, yes, with the Assyrians. The Assyrians have had worlds similar to yours, and they did not want to realize the beings here that are protecting your world. This is probably knowledge for many of you already, but to bring it up again, is that they don't want to interfere with your soul growth. They have to step back and let you figure it out for yourselves. But of course, as they do that, yes, it gets heavier and heavier on your world, as you can see. As the financial situation and the mental meltdowns is going on in your world, as yes, you're in a time period of, yes, a great stress, as more than has been seen in some time on your world. But yes, the Syrians, Arcturians, Palladians, but the Syrians for sure, yes, your world is protected, but they have to make sure that they don't interfere with your timelines too much. They care about you this much. Yes, many of you are going through hard times. They cannot interfere in your teachings. Now you can say yourself, I am ready to release this negative timeline. Some of you have, some of you continue because it's part of your timeline. But others do not. Some of them do feel a shift. It's like moving from one state to the other, or one country to the other. I'm ready to move. It's the same way. When you're asking to just change your environment, the alien beings around you are allowed to, but you have to make that known. And some do, some don't. Some cry, and then they say they want it, but they actually don't want it. But some of you are so contracted to not leave and move, as you are aware. Some are just stoned into it's almost like you're cemented into that timeline, and there's no end. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. It's just their tunnel is very, very long. But it's not going to be forever. So yes, the crystal stones of your Atlantean knowledge are being activated at this time. Slowly your earth will become more known, understood. You will also, many of you, let's put it this way, your psychic senses will become more awakened. It is time. As for a full disclosure on your world, it is, yes, once again, up to you. Many of your humans are still, yes, in a negative present, the shell of the reptilians. The mind of the reptilians they still don't feel like humans deserve any type of enlightenment. But to realize also, they have taken away all of your powers. And so, the human here is almost defenseless. As you are aware, you do have defenses around you. But it has not been a fair fight. But that was also the idea behind it. It was never intended to be a fair fight. As the Atlanteans wanted to go to their darkest moments. And many of you experience that over and over again. It's time for relief. As for where that relief is, a possibility of alien contact in your skies. Basically, more transformation of your Earth. But it all depends. It all depends on the Earth's vibrations. Now, is this likelihood that you're going back to the time of the fingerprint of the gods? Basically, seeing God, alien beings in your sky is a high possibility, but not as a godlike being, though. I believe you have had enough of that. But realize this also. This will, yes, they have to be careful with this, but movement is on. Let's just put it that way. As for your alien disclosure, it will continue on. And yes, when the time has come is up to you humans, but it does seem like, yes, it's getting closer and closer. That's all I can say at this moment. As for what humans do with it, it is up to you. Now, things can change. You might have your alien disclosure in your skies. Of course, it's not worldwide, but it'll be enough to just show that you're on the right. I can't go too far with that, but let's just say that you're on the right track. Let's put it that way, without disclosing too much. But many of you are already connecting to what I am saying here, basically. You are opening your skies up for disclosure. There will be miniature disclosures, but you are, yes. We will see a being in your sky, as an alien being, possibly. As you are allowing this energy to continue. As not in a fear-mongering way, not at all. Because some humans would basically just laugh it off and look the other way. But those that are connected to this vibration say, yes, this is all part of the awakening. That's all I can say at this time. Blessings to you. I am Thoth. Happy returns. Greetings to you. We are the Carrions. Yes, your eagle race. Greetings to your society. Yes, there are master timelines on your Earth that we cannot fully disclose at this time. But many of you are visiting that timeline. As for your alien visitation. As for will this happen, what will happen on your world, has to do with you. How many souls are willing to change their timeline completely? Oh, you're going to allow yourself to change, transform. As for what that means, I will leave you with that. You will know what that means yourself. Because basically, with our communications with you, your life will never be the same again. And how many are willing to go through that? Many of you are. But that is still up for grabs. As a master timeline, yes, it is within your planet, of course. It is like in the center of it. It's like opening up the center of your Earth, basically. Which is, yes, connected to your Agartha. So how do you do this? It's up to you. But we are guiding you to this direction, yes. But we have to be careful. We are working actually with your timeline transformations. That's all we can say at this moment. That's all we can say. Good night to you all. Pleasant dreams. Before I go, though, you are allowing this shift, yes. As for how far it will go, we don't want to say it'll be a sacrifice, but a change in character, yes. Because most likely, as I said, you will not be the same ever again. So that is, yes, a tall one to accept. A tall pill away. How you work on your world doesn't matter. But many of you are connected to this master timeline, of course. But as you allow it to come into your timeline is another story. But Many are, yes, considering it, of course. That's all we can say at this moment. Good night. Yes, that one came in. Just wanted to give you a sign of hope of things to come. Not a false hope, but just know that you're heading in the right direction. So, all right, take care, everyone. Have a great night. Much love. Blessings.